So today we have with us Major Rohit Jamnani, who is serving as an orthopedic surgeon at a military hospital in Pathankot. Major Rohit, welcome to National Dynamic Medical Students Summit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So Major Rohit, it's a wonderful journey which you have taken from being an orthopedic surgeon and then getting into military and serving in the military. It's a wonderful, I think we'll have a lot of things to discuss with the journey which you have taken, right? So with that, let me give you an insight into the summit. The summit is mainly about medical specialties, in this case, orthopedics, right? So where we'll discuss regarding your specialty, the orthopedics, and your life in that particular area, so that the students can get an insight into if they want to take orthopedics as their specialty, right? So with that, I think the first question every student has is, now, why do you take orthopedics as the specialty?
See, basically, when you are doing your MBBS and all that, especially in internship, you'll have a postings in all the other departments. Then only you will come to know where you are interested, whether you are going for a physician line or whether you want to take a surgeon line. So I was really fond of doing surgeries and all that. Whenever I used to go to OT and I used to assist seniors and all that, PG students and all that, I used to love them. I used to like, they are doing something good. And especially in medical side, if you go for physician side, there's a lot of, in ICU, there are a lot of patients and this and that. But in surgery, it is very clear. You require more of hand skills and all that rather than a knowledge. See, suppose if any patient comes with me with a X-ray, it shows a fracture. I just know how to fix it and how to make it mobilize as early as possible. But medicine, if you see as a whole, it is a very huge, vast. You should know each and everything of patient symptoms. So every field is like that. If you see medicine, there's a lot of other diseases in pediatrician. The children's can't tell the symptoms and all that. Again, there's a lot of knowledge work and all that. So I was not liking that thing. I thought like life should be simple. I don't want, like, people used to call me from ICU, sir, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, that and all. I'll see some OPD and I'll do 1 or 2 surgeries in a day and finished off.
Got it.
So basically,
Wonderful.
it is all up. Basically, it is all upon your what you like it. See, the surgery and medicine is entirely different. It's very different. Medicine, there's a lot of patients. There will be 100 plus OPD, but mine is not that kind of. I'll do surgeries. I'll see some OPD 30, 40. I'll finish off my work. So I just don't want to take a headache and all that.
Got it. So you were more of a surgical person who wanted to be very straightforward with your cases and right. Got that. So with that, being an orthopedic surgeon for now, practicing for long years, what has been the pros of being an orthopedic surgeon?
Sorry, I can't hear.
The advantages of being an orthopedic surgeon.
See, basically, first of all, it is an end branch. People say there are super specialty and all that, but that are only, there is no proper degree in kind of that. There's fellowships and all that, but there is nothing like that. Now, if you say in ortho, super specialty means joint replacement surgeons, arthroscopic surgeons. But as an orthopedic surgeon, you can do these things. See, presently I am doing joint replacements also. Presently I am doing arthroscopic surgeries also. So basically you doesn't require any extra degree. So it is mostly an end branch. Okay. So this is the one advantage. Second advantage is I love people whenever people come from accident and all that, they are, bedridden and all that. And the very next day of the surgery, I'll make them mobilize and all that. I feel very happy.
Okay.
They are very good results. The second day surgery, we used to mobilize the patients and you will see your results very fast. But in other fields, if you say in medicine, if the person is having some heart issues and it will keep on going on. See, recovery will be very slow and sometimes you have to take medicines lifelong. But in ortho, it is not like that. Once the fracture is united, we are happy, patient is happy.
Everyone is united.
Another, unless otherwise there is another injury, I don't have to intervene. Okay. So I don't have a long follow-up also patients. See, once the fracture is united, then my job is done.
Got it. Wonderful. So, right. So now, getting to understand the advantages, what would be the disadvantage or the cons of taking orthopedic surgery?
See, disadvantage is once you finish your post graduation as an
Mhm.
MS ortho, in most of the private colleges, you won't have a hands-on on the surgery. You will be assisting surgeons,
Mhm.
or maximum you will be doing the suturing and all that. But most of the colleges, you will be not allowed to do independent surgeries. So first 2 3 years are very crucial. There you should choose a government institute where you will get a lot of patients and where you can free your hand. Okay, initially it is not a theoretical kind of thing like medicine and all that. You finish your post graduation, then you start your clinic or you start seeing the patients and all that. Because in post graduation in medicine and surgery, what is the difference? In medicine, PGs will be doing the same job as their staff, but in surgeons and all ortho, it is not like that. If I am doing my post graduation ortho, my surgeons, my seniors will be doing surgery, and I will be either assisting them or I'll be filling the some forms and all that. So, especially after finishing your post graduation, the one big disadvantage is that you should get a good government medical college where uh, you are allowed to do individual surgeries and all that. And second thing, you are dealing with the surgery. Okay, so any mistake, like while operating on a limb and all that, if by mistake you have cut a vessel or nerve, there is a life threatening kind of things. You cannot revert it back.
Mhm.
Now, especially nerve injuries, vessel injury, still you can call a vascular surgeon and all that, and something can happen. But especially nerve injuries and all that, they are certain irreversible. But that is a surgical skill that you will gain over a period of time. It is
Mhm.
not a rocket kind of sense. You should be, and third is you should be thorough with your anatomy. You should be, you should enjoy your anatomy, like dissection classes. You will get your interest there only.
Mhm.
If I'm cutting on a dead body, I can cut a living also. I'll do the surgeries and all that. So the skills are very important. I feel there are less skills required for physician rather than surgeon. Okay,
Mhm.
surgeons, physicians are more of brainy kind of people. I have
Mhm.
seen many people who are used to do top and all that. They used to take, most of the people in MBBS, not in they used to think like, mujhe to medicine chahiye, I'll take a medicine or pediatrician. Very less people used to say I want to become a surgeon. And especially ortho, nobody tells,
Mhm.
because in MBBS there's very less exposure to ortho. There's
Yeah.
hardly, there's more weightage to the surgery rather than an ortho. But I'll tell you, it's a very good subject.
Mhm.
You will feel very good. Disadvantage is only, you should be thorough with your anatomy. You should find some good hospital, especially after finishing a post graduation. And that's all you should find.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we got the insight there, right? So looking at the advantages and also disadvantages, for whom this particular subject would be an ideal choice?
Those who doesn't want to study too much after finishing your post graduation, there's nothing much to read actually. See, it is a very simple funda. And the more you start doing the surgeries, then you will think like, if I can do a trauma, I'll start some joint replacement also and
Mhm.
all that. And people have taken joint replacement as a separate field. So it is up
Mhm.
to you. If you want a chill life, you don't want to be disturbed in the night and all that, you take arthroscopic surgery,
Mhm.
joint surgeries, which are not an emergency. Like in many patients come for osteoarthritis and other things, you will go for primary joint replacement and all that. They are not at all emergencies.
Mhm.
So depending upon that, and as a trauma surgeon, you can do joints and scopy also. It is up to you. You can choose your patients and all that.
Mhm. Right, got it. So that was a
But
wonderful
and
thing, I think.
especially now, one more thing, you
Mhm.
won't find a, most of this is male branch. Okay, you
Mhm.
won't find a female, because it requires some physical thing while doing surgeries and all that. I have seen either one or two female people, female candidate who have done surgeries, orthopedic surgeons, but they mostly take either a spine surgery. Spine surgery is completely a different kind of field. Okay,
Mhm.
there you must have super specialty. But spine is the one thing which neurosurgeons are also doing, and orthopedic surgeons, after doing their fellowship in the spine, they are also doing spine. There's a one common field.
Mhm.
And the other end branch is hand and microsurgery. Okay,
Mhm.
that also plastic surgeon people are also doing, and there are also some super specialty courses which involve hand and microsurgery. These two fields you cannot do as an orthopedic surgeon. You require some, kind of exposure to do all these surgeries.
Yeah, there is some kind of overlap between the other specialities into this
Yeah,
domain. Yeah,
neurosurgery and plastic surgery especially.
got it. Yeah. So now, what are the super specialization opportunities available after the no MS Ortho?
See, there are total four kind of super specialty. One
Mhm,
is arthroscopic surgeon, which are mostly doing the sports injury. You can say
mhm,
sports medicine. Second is joint replacement surgeons. The third is spine surgery, and the fourth is hand and microsurgery. Okay. Now, out of these, all fours, there are FNB courses. FNB courses of 3 years, which is uh, Ganga Hospital in Coimbatore. They are
mhm,
providing FNB courses in all three branches. In these four super specialty, two are, can be spine surgery and hand and microsurgery. Okay.
mhm.
So in spine surgery, neurosurgeons can also do spine surgeries, and hand and micro plastic surgeon also shares these kind of things. Remaining two subspecialties, there are fellowships also, and there are degree courses also. Degree courses, that is FNB. Fellowships can be of 6 months, 1 year, in India also, and in foreign also.
Yeah,
So these are the four super specialty in ortho.
got it. Yeah. So now, after MS surgery, what are the job opportunities in India and abroad?
See, there's a lot of demand for ortho people,
Mhm,
because when I finished my post graduation, I was in final year, and I used to get many calls like there are vacancy here and there and also. So regarding kind of job opportunities in India, there's a lot of scope. Okay, there are many hospitals, uh, and you will provide a good package also. Okay,
mhm,
foreign problem is that you have to do some kind of courses to fulfill their demands. Okay,
mhm,
you cannot directly straight away go and can be allowed to practice ortho in foreign countries. Okay, but in India there's a lot of good job vacancies and all that, and very good package. But initially, problem is that your skills should be very good. Okay,
yeah.
you can have to choose your medical college kind of thing, where there's a lot of patients, and you are should be allowed in final year or second year to do hands-on on the surgeries and all that. So regarding the this one, I didn't found any difficulty in finding a job. There's a lot of government job facilities also available and all that.
Got it. Mhm,
And especially in the small township and all that, there are certain towns where there's no orthopedic surgeons, or even there is a one or two orthopedic surgeons.
mhm,
So if you compare medicine and general surgery and ortho, there's a lot of opportunities, because ortho, especially, you can consider ortho is a super specialty. Okay, especially in my organization, I work in Indian Army. Their ortho is super specialty,
mhm.
because surgery and medicine they consider as specialty, but ortho is super specialty.
Got
Because after ortho, joints and scopy, even an orthopedic surgeon can do if he's trained enough.
it. Mhm, mhm,
So mostly you can consider it as an end branch
mhm.
in one way. But if you
Okay.
have to practice in metro cities and all that, where there people used to see your degree, how much some will write fellowship in sports surgeries, some will write and all. There you may have to do some fellowships or some super specialty to survive in metro cities. But if you say smaller cities and all that, there's a lot of good joint job opportunities.
Got it. Got it. So, with all these things, what we would like to know is what are the earning potential in orthopedic as a surgeon?
That all depends how peaceful life you want to live. Okay.
Okay.
See, if you want to earn, you can work 24 hours. There, I'll tell you, especially in government job. Suppose now I am in an army, I am doing a government job. So for me, earning is secondary,
Mhm,
because for me, initially I should learn. Earning can come. See, earning is not a problem. But especially if you say a private, there are very good potential. You will get a very good packages and all that. But initially, once you finish your post graduation, you should be, assisting some surgeons, because you are not that trained enough to start doing independent surgeries. So
mhm.
first few years of struggle will be there.
Yeah.
But once you are confident about your surgeries and all that, uh, from earning point of view, see, I believe in suppose my OPD is around 30 to 40 patients. If I do one surgery per day, that is very good enough. Okay. But not like a medicine people, you keep seeing 100 patients, and at the end of the day, you'll see, oh, this much of 100 patients I have seen, and your OPD charges will be 100, 200, or whatever. So you will start, okay. But I don't want to take that headache. Like from morning to night, I'm seeing same kind of patients and all that. So from earning point of view, you have very bright. You can go any corner of the India. There's a lack of orthopedic surgeons always. And if you are able to do some joints and some basic arthroscopic surgery, then you will shine. Nobody will stop you.
Got it. So, as an orthopedic surgeon, how would be the work-life balance?
That is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you are a trauma surgeon, you will get a call from casualty and in night, in odd hours and all that. That you have to balance your life and all that. Okay, but I'll tell you, most of the orthopedic, conditions are not as an acute conditions where you have to visit hospital in odd hours, until or unless it is a polytrauma patient or some open fractures. So it is not like if your working hours are 9 to 2 and evening you go for 2 to 3 hours and all that. That is very good enough. Very rarely you used to get a call in the night and all that. But calls will come, but it is not like hurry bari, you have to go to hospital. Suppose it is a fracture case, any case comes for a fracture and all that. Initially the treatment will be putting a plaster and later you can see it, until unless it is an open fracture or it is a polytrauma patient or the patient with open neurovascular injuries and all that. So work wise, I didn't feel any kind of disbalance between my family and all that. But still, if you love your work, you can work 24 hours also. It's entirely depend upon your your how is your thinking of your partner and all that. So it is, you can choose your working hours. It is not like if you are bind to one hospital, there are very less emergencies in that, and emergencies can be handled on phone also. It is not like every case you have to go in the sea in the night and all that.
Got it. Yeah. So that's how we can handle things today, right? So now, what are the if you look into the orthopedic surgery, orthopedics as a specialty in the next 5 to 10 years, how would be the future of orthopedics?
See, definitely in next to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, there are a lot of kind of robotic surgeries are there these days. But I feel it is, robotic surgeries are there, but still there's a demand for orthopedic surgery. Orthopedic surgeons are very good amount. But if you think in metro cities, there are a lot of orthopedic surgeons. Every street is having one orthopedic surgeon, but not everybody is equally skilled. It is entirely a skill job. That is a very, and the same surgery can be done by two surgeons. So it depends how beautifully you have fixed the fracture, which kind of implants you are using it. It is, there's a lot of other things also you have to see which kind of implant I am using it, whether it is of what quality and all that, whether patient can afford that implant and all that. So sometimes you feel very difficult. One disadvantage is also this: it is very difficult to make understand people. Suppose if somebody is using stainless steel implant and I am using a titanium implant, definitely the cost of surgery mine will be high. But it is these kind of things, it is very difficult to make understand patient. See, I am putting a very good implant. They just want surgery. If one surgeon is doing 3,000, why you're asking 15,000? So it is very difficult to make them understand, see, my quality of implant is very good and all that. So that is also one disadvantage I feel, to making them understand people. Okay. But in coming years, I feel people will choose more of super specialty and all that. Nowadays, I have seen many people will see only trauma. Many will see only joints. Many will see only, arthroscopy. So now super specialty has become very must for them. But initially for a few years to survive, if you are good enough, if you are doing a good trauma, if you are doing a basic joint replacement and basic scopies, then no need for super specialty. But if you want to shine in one, if you want to see only for joints, because I feel I'll get very bored if I am doing only joints. Trauma, if I am doing, I feel very excited and all that. There are a lot of challenges. Joints also challenges are there, but in revision surgeries like revision joint replacements and all that. But I have seen many people now, they go for FNB in arthroscopy surgery, FNB and all that, super specialty people. But one good thing is there that those who are doing super specialty, they don't go for trauma. Trauma only orthopedic surgeons are doing. Super specialty means they are doing only super specialty. They are earning a good amount and they are satisfied with their life. So I feel don't worry about the super specialty. First, finish your post graduation, then see whether you like to do only joints, whether you like to do only scopy surgeries, or whether you are getting interested in trauma and all that. That you can decide later.
Got it. So now we looked into the pros, the cons, the work-life balance, and the different opportunities in orthopedics, right? So what you would like to know is your journey. Okay, how did you choose like from the days of MBBS? What made you to choose orthopedics? And then you worked. Then what made you to get into the army? And how has been that journey? Could you just share that part of the journey so that students can be
See,
inspired by the pathways you have taken up?
one bad thing was that I was not interested in becoming a doctor. It was all, you can say, accidental or whatever. In MBBS, I was not interested much in studies. People used to study a lot and all that. Especially, I was not a ranker kind of thing. I used to think, okay, theek hai, pass ho jayenge, that is a good enough and all that. And especially when I used to go for in internship, when I used to go for medicine and gynae and all that, there only you'll come to know which subject you're liking and all that. I used to hate medicine, seriously. I don't know what kind of life these people are having. Every time they'll be on phone, ICU mein ye x-ray, ye this ECG, this E and that. I thought, okay, I'll take some simple funda, either pathology kind of thing, and pharmacology. I'll sit, I should relax my life and all that. Once I finished my MBBS, I was working in a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
which was mostly a renal hospital, kidney hospital.
Acha. Mm-hmm.
There I worked around 1 year. But I was, I used to assist their orthopedic surgeon there. So I was liking what kind of surgeries he is doing and all that. And I felt ki I also used to deal with bones and all that. And so from there, I got interested in this subject and all that. But then I came to know, for taking ortho as a specialty, you should work very hard. You should, kind of, ortho is one of the seat you will get in top ranks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
After radio, I think people are taking either ortho or gynae.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So हमने भी मेहनत की. I started doing it and all that. I dropped for 1 year. Then first time I got pathology seat. Then I refused. Then second year I again mehnat kari. Then I got a ortho. Then I did my post graduation in Mangalore, Father Mullas Medical College.
Mm-hmm.
So once I finished from there, I felt कि भाई मैंने PG तो कर लिया, but I have never done a single surgery on my own. So I felt very like if some patient comes and with me, I I cannot do individual. I was not confident enough. I have assisted. I know
Yeah.
how to do it, but until unless you will do with your own, won't feel confident enough. So I thought I'll start working in some hospital. So I got a job in government hospital. There we have a 4 to 5 staff was there. So there I started doing the surgeries. My HOD was very kind of person. He used to give me doing surgery. He used to tell me like, you start doing. If you find any difficulty, give me a call. Whatever worst you can do, we'll handle it.
Hmm.
So that kind of confidence he was having in me. He felt you have a lot of good knowledge. You just require hands-on, so that you'll be a good kind of surgeon. So I have done a lot of mistakes, many mistakes, and I used to call him, "Ki sir, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya." He used to tell, "Don't worry, I'll come." So there I did 1 year. Then I was very fond of doing, I thought it's a very boring job. I thought doing surgery, coming back home and all that. So I feel I require something, some adventure in my life. So I thought I'll go for army.
Mm-hmm.
I just filled the short service commission form because I used to see people. I was going for army and all. They have a lot of other jobs. They used to post it in borders. There's a lot of good life and all that. So there I got interested in this army and all that. So I have given short service commission exam, which
Mm-hmm.
was interview was there. There I was selected, and then they told me your schedule will start from morning 5 o'clock. I mean, what? Well, yeah, from my 5 o'clock, my routine used to start. We used to run for 5 kilometers. Then we used to have some kind of exercises and all that. Then we used to have parade also, PT parade. Then we used to go for firing also. Then hospital also. Then evening games were also compulsory.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of life was there in for initial few years and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel ki like you need some adventure, you want to work for a country for some period, you want to experience something extra in your life. Okay, so you can choose. Army is a very, very, very good option. Okay, you'll get postings, and I was very fond of seeing most of the cities and all that. So army is one good thing. You will can't stay more than 3 years in one city. You'll
Mhm.
experience from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Suppose initially I was posted in Hyderabad, now I am posted in Pathankot and all that. So, and in army, one good thing is there, like hardly one or two orthopedic surgeons are posted in every center. So you'll get a very lot of patients. You'll get a very good experience and all that. So I used to love my work, and there are a lot of other activities. Sometimes it will be firing, sometimes some games, sometimes this and all that. So it looks like a balanced life, and
Mhm.
respect is also there. Though the earning is not that as you compare from corporate,
Mhm.
but it's up to you. I am very satisfied with my life, and there's a lot of other facilities and all that, and I feel very proud of it. That I'm whenever I wear my uniform and all that, I feel like I'm doing something. So that feeling comes from inside. So that's what, it's a very good kind of. And if you see professional wise, it is a very good thing. We are using very all A class implants. We have very good seniors. We used to have teaching sessions also, and we have medical college in Pune, AFMC Medical College and all that. So it's not like we are lacking from corporate. If you compare professionalism, we are
Mhm.
equally good, but we are good in other activities also.
Great, great. Really, that's really an inspiring journey which you have taken, and we are proud of you being in the army and serving for the country. Great. So, with all this,
But for me, one more thing I was to tell you, it is
yeah.
not like only I am serving.
Mhm.
Being a, in corporate or people working in a smaller township and all that, they are also serving for
Yes.
country.
Mhm.
Initially, I used to feel like if I am in army, I am serving. But many other people are working, and many other people are working for poor people and people which are, require some kind of help and all that. So I
Mhm.
feel it is not an only branch where you have to feel you are working for a country. There are many other things. I've
Mhm.
seen people working in towns. They have a lot of good opportunities in cities, but still they are working in towns. They were there. Some people are seeing some free patients and all that. Some people are offering surgeries in very minimum amount and all that. Some people are doing very charity work like you and all that. So I feel all of us are doing something for the country. It is not only me, but everybody is having, kind of some likes and dislikes. I used to like I should handle some gun and all that. I know how to fire it and all that. So these kind of things also I have learned here and all that. So that is entirely what you like and all that.
Great, great. Really inspiring. Got it. So now, with all these things being there, what has been one of the most challenging thing which you faced during your career?
Other than
Challenge.
professionalism, if professionalism challenge is that, initially in my post graduation, I remember in my second year, my HOD was there, and he thought I am a final year student, or he thought I am senior resident or something. I don't know, because of the mask he didn't identify me, and he has given the incision, and he told, okay, now the surgeon will finish the surgery, I am going. That was my, say, second year. I have just assisted few surgeries and all that. So that one incident I remember. There I was struggling. Luckily, the assistant, the nursing assistant was very good, and he was trained enough. He helped me a lot and all that, and we finished the surgery in a very good time and all that. But if you tell me about challenges after finishing our post graduation,
Mhm.
few years will be very struggling. Okay, few years, because you have not done hands on your surgeries and all. You require some help and all that. So I thought initial few years we have make a team. Okay, we are 2 to 3 friends. We used to tell कि भाई अगर patient आता है, we used to do surgery with 3 people. So at
Mhm.
least we'll get 3 people, 3 different ideas and all that. And if one can stuck in between surgery, the other person will come and help. So whenever if you're feeling it is a kind of, during initial years of your career, if you feel, don't hesitate to take a help of any surgeon.
Yeah,
See, rather than damaging to the patient, if you think your ego should not come across, you can ask
exactly.
help with anybody.
Mhm.
Maximum you have to share your profit, that's all. But it should be good for the patient also. So
Right.
in when I was in civil services, so we used to have a 3 group of friends. So you have decided, like in private practice, we'll do surgeries together initial few years, and even after initial years, if you have planning some challenging surgery, it's better to have a backup, or you can do a teamwork. It is always good for the surgeon also. It always good for the patient also. So don't hesitate to take help of any other senior or any of your friends and all that. It is not like your ego should not come with me. I can handle alone, because anything can happen during intra-op. And intra-op, there is nobody to help you. You're the alone. You should know everything, and you should know how to handle emergencies also. And especially if it is a long surgery, you'll mind will stop thinking. You know how to do it, but your mind will stop thinking of some ideas. So even during initially, it's better to have a teamwork. You can choose some 2 3 peoples and all that. And even in later in the life also, if any complicated surgery you're planning, you better do a teamwork.
Got it. That's wonderful. So, be having a team and having a support structure, being a surgeon in any specialty, I
Because if
think
the case
that's
becomes
important.
wrong, because if the case has become wrong, no, will people will blame you only. You only have to face entire complications and all that. Especially in civil, it is too much. Though this army is very safe organization, but still in civil, you have to face challenges and all that. Some case has become wrong or something maybe not your fault, but people won't think that time. So if you have teamwork, it will be better for the patient care and all that.
Great. Wonderful. We got that. Right. So with that, having all those challenges faced and is also existing in the field. What has been the best part of being an orthopedic surgeon?
Best part is for me, once I operate my patient and the next day patient start walking, that is the best moment for me.
Great.
I'll forget everything, even if I operated in an odd hours, night hours, something happened in my family and all that. I forgot everything. I used to, I used to have a big smile on my face when next day, very next day, once the patient start, ki sir pura dard chala gaya and he started walking on your limbs and all that, or his movements of the hands and fingers have come. There's a very good, moment I feel. This is not there in any other specialty. You tell me any specialty which the next day people started telling ki, ha sir. In medicine and all that, many patients are chronically ill. They used to take medicines for years and all that. And, but for this moment is very cheerful for me when I come for the rounds on the next day, or when the patient comes in the stretcher and goes walking on his limbs. That moment is very proud and all that.
So something I think more which we would like to ask is because in a special scenario where you are in as a major serving in the army, right? And now there will be many students who will be looking forward to getting into the army. So how do you what do you say for them, and what is the process?
No,
Uh,
Siri, the process is, you can choose even after MBBS. There is a
mhm,
simple short service examination where they will take you a interview and some medical will be there, medical examination. Then you will be posted as a medical officer called as
mhm,
MO. Okay. And after say 2 to 3 years of services, you are eligible to take a post graduation exam where you will get some benefits because of the army.
mhm,
Okay. Or you can say some quota and all that. Okay. So once you join short service commission, it is of 14 years of duration,
mhm,
and first 5 years bond will be there. You cannot leave the job first 5 years until unless you have a very strong reason.
mhm,
And after 2 years of services, you are allowed for permanent commission. In permanent commission, they used to take a departmental interview, and if you have cleared that, you will be permanently, this one serving in the army. There the service will be till the age of 50 and all that, and there you'll get a pension. And also in short service commission, there is no pension and all that, and the entire duration is of 14 years. Even after post graduation, you can join. The advantage of joining after post graduation is promotion. So initially when you join, your rank will be as a captain, and if you join after 5 years or after 4 years, you will get a major rank. Okay.
mhm,
So if you are postgraduate, you will get a 3 years of antedate seniority. Within 1 year, you will pick up of your rank and all that.
mhm.
Okay. So it's a very smooth process, and there's a lot of every year the ad will come in the leading newspapers and all that about short service commission and all that.
Yeah.
So it is good to join even after MBBS and PG. In MBBS, if you join after MBBS, there's chances like you will get a PG very fast because they have particular benefits once you serve for 3 to 4 years. But again, if you are doing post graduation after joining army, you have to serve for 14 years. Okay. because there's kind of bond. If the army is making you to do post graduation, you have to serve for 14 years. But I don't feel you will feel why 14 years, because it's a very good organization. You will love to work. You have a lot of adventures. You can do what adventure you want. You can do horse riding, climbing, this. There's a lot of other activities. And people used to spend money to do these activities, and we are provided it free. So that is a very good advantage. If you see, people used to go for, they used to learn horse riding, they used to go climbing mountains and all that. But we have to do that. So it is very good adventure and all that. So it's entirely up to you. They'll make you fit, fine, and very good personality. Once you come out from this organization, you'll be a perfect gentleman. And there's a lot of good opportunities once you have worked in army. That is also one good thing. You'll get very good offers once you're retired from army and all that.
Great, wonderful. I think that's really would inspire a lot of them to take up a job, a career pathway now as a doctor. Got it. Right. So now we are almost at the end of our interaction. So what would be your guidance for the students who are looking up to take orthopedic as a specialty?
See, my guidance is you should concentrate. I'll tell you, after MBBS, don't go for a job and I'll also read for the post-graduation. I'll do also job and all that. You give one entire year to study. Okay. Definitely you'll get a post-graduation seat. People sometimes will be in the dilemma, like I'll also work for some hours and I'll study for few hours in the evening and night. So that doesn't work actually. If you have some responsibility and all, that is fine. But if you are just, I'll work, I'll earn some money and I'll read also, that doesn't go hand to hand. And if you are thinking like it is very difficult to get a PG seat, better come in this organization. You can choose government jobs also. You can choose army also. Everybody's providing you some benefits once you have worked for 3 to 4 years in government job and army job. You'll get a PG seat. Most of these to get people PG seats, but only this thing, you have to serve for army for next 14 years and all that. So read, and one thing also is there. It's not agar seat nahi mila, should not get depressed. I'll tell you, there are many things to do in life. It is not like, I have seen many people after doing MBBS, they are doing IAS, they civil services and all that, and they have entirely changed their entire profession and they are very happy. Okay, so you should be, follow your dreams and first decide what you want to do and all that. You'll come to an idea. Even in internship, you'll come to an idea where you are interested, whether you're interested in physician line and all that. Then depending upon your goal, you have to start working on that. And keep seeing inspiring videos, keep reading. God bless, and you will become a very good doctor. Don't worry. And don't depress. I have seen many, even only MBBS people are working very well. I don't know. It's entirely depend upon your entire happiness. What do you want? You should be satisfied what you have. That is a very good thing. Okay. I have seen many people MBBS, they are very happy. I have seen many people who have changed their profession. They are also happy. And many people, even super specialists, they are not satisfied with their jobs and all that. So do your best and accept whatever is happening. Okay. Don't jealous and don't compare yourself with others. I'll tell you, I was very dumb. If I can do ortho, anybody can do.
Right. That was amazing. So Rohit, so I know Rohit, Rohit has been very good friend of mine and has seen him grow to such a huge level. And now Major Rohit Jamnani. So it's really inspiring to see you in this particular position and serving for the nation. Really hats off and salute you for the service which you're providing for our nation. Thank you, Dr. Rohit, for being here today and sharing your journey with us. It's really inspiring. I hope a lot of our students, it's a national event, of course, a lot of the national students all over India would see this and get inspired from what journey you have taken. You have really contributed a lot today for us. And thank you for being here today, Rohit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Isn't this valuable to know the career pathway of a specialist? Hear from experiences of 50 plus consultant doctors from across India. Get an insight into 22 plus medical specialties and make an informed career decision which will shape your future. Join India's first of a kind online medical specialty summit exclusively designed for medical students. Visit our website drsajjanacademy.com to know more. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity.